Now, ex-Iebc Commissioner Roslyn Akombe has delivered a heartfelt message to the late Musandu. And of course, wasting no time, let me read it for you. Yes, 8 years ago, they strangled you for merely doing your work. You had openly stated that under your watch, elections would not be rigged. They silenced you forever, but justice will be served one day. Your legacy in the fight for electoral justice remains etched in our memories. Now, this is a message from Iebc Commissioner, ex-Iebc Commissioner, Roslyn Akombe. And remember, Musandu died prior to elections, some 1 week to elections, 2017 elections. And Raila came out and said that the government had silenced Musandu because Musandu had, vowed to make sure that elections won't be rigged and elections will be fair. And at the time, if you remember very well, at the time, NASA had taken over and everywhere was NASA. And of course, Raila Moldinga was going to thwart Uhuru and Ruto. And remember at the time, Ruto alikuwa deputy president. So this message also got to do with Ruto because alikuwa deputy president. And I'm saying that alimalizo because Musandu was out there, telling Kenyans that wasiogope, elections will be fair. And of course, Uhuru and Ruto, they knew very well that if at all they had to face Raila in a free and fair field, they would have lost. That's why, the Iebc was, compromised and Uhuru won the elections. And I remember very well, the first round, Uhuru emerged victorious. But what happened? Maraga came out and akasema, hii election ilikuwa wrong, ilifanyika haikufuata sheria, and Maraga ordered Chebukati to actually do a repeat of the elections. And this message, this ruling actually hurt Uhuru and Ruto to a point whereby they even say that they will remove Maraga from, from Supreme Court, from being the Chief Justice. And now, remember, the repeat elections, Raila alijitoa akasema, kama Chebukati nitasimamia elections, then I am not going to compete with Uhuru Kenyatta because the winner is already known. And Raila akajitoa, and that's how Uhuru won the second term. Now, here's the question now. Here's the twist. If at all Musandu was murdered, as the way Akombe is saying here, how can Kenyans believe these new commissioners or Iebc? How can Kenyans trust, Ethekon? Remember, last time Ruto alikuwa deputy president. So whatever happened last time, Ruto was part of it. Probably, if at all, this guy was actually finished. Then, because Ruto was in government. So now that he's the president, how can Kenyans trust this Iebc? Right now, Kenyans have seen signs that this Iebc won't conduct free and fair elections. Remember, there were 4 MPs who were recalled by Kenyans. But yesterday, just 2 days ago, Ethekon, the Iebc chairman, came out and said there is no way our MPs watakuwa recalled and Kenyans should just wait for 2027. It shows you that this order must have come from above. No. Because Ruto knew very well that his people, his allies are going to be removed from office. People like Kimani Chungwa, Pasaris na wengine, wangetolewa kwa ofisi. So, this message is actually, making Kenyans ask themselves questions. How will this Iebc be fair? If at all, Roslyn Akombe, the lady was a commissioner, and of course she feared for her life and she escaped to America. Now she's saying that the Iebc, last time, ndo ilimaliza, Musandu, because Musandu was out there, and Musandu had vowed to actually make sure that elections itakuwa free and fair. But now, this message has to do with this, current Iebc commissioners, because it shows you that the Iebc commissioner right now, imeingililiwa, and actually the president has full control of it. That's why the president has been saying that hawa watu wanijui, mimi nimejipanga. Of course amejipanga, because already akona Iebc and already is going to make sure that this Iebc works for him. That's what I'm reading from this message. And this is a serious threat to Kenya, because it means that democracy imenajisiwa. Yeah, as in there's no democracy here, because Kenyans will wake up in the morning, wakimba one term, waende wapige kura, then what will happen? They will not get the results they went for. Yeah, that's the reality that I'm saying for this message. And because Akombe just saying that Kenyans, the elections in Inakuja won't be free and fair. That's the message Akombe is trying actually to tell Kenyans. No, because whatever happened to Musandu, the IBC was, infiltrated, and the IBC gave the wrong winner. So this time round, the same thing can happen, because William Ruto knows very well that amelose Mulima, amelose wa Kenya wamtaki. So what is the solution? Is to, of course, make sure that IBC does what he wants. And that's actually what's happening. And they have seen signs that this IBC will not actually work for Kenyans. Because even the formation of these commissioners, the unveiling of these commissioners, the opposition was not even consulted. No. And Kalonzo Musyoka has been saying that hata Ruto akiweka nani akuwe chairman watashinda. So it means that IBC is the central point the next elections. So tell me, do you believe that Kenyans should be worried about the IBC? Ama do you believe that the IBC will actually work for Kenyans? I mean, you need to tell me, do you think William Ruto will use IBC to win the second term as the way the opposition is actually telling Kenyans? Comment and of course, adios. If you love politics, then Dr. Politica is your cup of tea, the place for minds that think. If you are watching this from anywhere else, search the name, hit subscribe, and stay sharp with us. Thank you for making Dr. Politica your home for fearless political truth. Every view, every like, every share fuels the fire behind the hours of research, filming, and editing we pour into each episode. By showing up consistently, you don't just support a channel, you empower a voice. In a world ruled by headlines, spin, and power games, you remind us that real people still care about real facts. We are here to inform, inspire, and ignite critical thinking, not just for today, but for generations to come. You are not just a viewer, you are the reason this platform exists.